Hi everyone, Mike here with Merch by Amazon 2018 year in review. I wanted to take a few minutes and go over some of the things that have actually happened with my account, sales numbers, things that I've learned, things that I plan to do. Basically, like I said, an overview of definitely 2018, but I'm going to start with 2017 March, which is when I first started listing products on merch. 2018 has been actually a pretty, I mean, I've seen other success stories. I've read a few other, I guess, cases and posts on Reddit with, people selling, thousands of products each month and basically uh, those people whose accounts have really exploded. And I don't put myself in that category because I came into this with no marketing or advertising experience, and some of the designs when I first started out were pretty basic. So I couldn't say that that I had that graphic design background where I could design a shirt and expect it to sell hundreds or thousands of times, right? So that's kind of where I'm starting out, and that's where I started. And because of that reason, I think that it took me a little while, uh, I guess a little longer to get to a certain point where other people were very smart and strategic in buying themselves out of certain lower tiers and spending money on ads because that would get them to again higher tiers where they can list more products, and then even advertising on its own would increase sales. So basically, it was a combination of a lot of things. So as I was starting to say, 2018 has been a great year, but I have really, really uh, big plans for 2019, and we'll talk about that. So let's look at 2017 first of all. So like I said, I first started out in March 2017. So this is, as you can see here, this is where I was still at a tier 10. Um, it took me months to get out of that because I just simply didn't think to, spend $100 to buy myself out. So I would actually consider all this maybe like 6 months to be wasted time, but doesn't matter. I mean, I got past it and I started tearing up. So total number of products sold in 2017, about 650. This is somewhat of a rough number because I mean there are always cancellations and returns, but about 650. By the end of 2017, I was just getting to tier 500, which was a big deal. So if we look at, for example, March, April, May, June, this was all tier 10, tier, I think, what was it, 25. Then I went up to 100, and then finally I hit 500 around New Year's. And that totaled $12,000 in sales uh, for that period, which is basically, what, 7, 8 months of okay sales and generating those sales to get me up to tier 500. I would say that's fairly decent. Again, nowhere near what other people have done that knew how to kind of expedite that process and get out of those lower tiers right away. For anybody who's beginning, that would be my number one suggestion: is either buy yourselves out or spend some money if you have it advertising certain products either through Amazon or through um, Pinterest, even Facebook, just to get those initial sales up to get up to higher tiers, because it's much easier to work at a higher tier, because then you can explore certain ideas, test things out, and there's that comfort level where you're just basically listing every single day. 2018. So there was a big difference again from 2017 to 2018. Total number of products sold, 2,600. Now that's a big jump. I went up to tier 2,000 in March. That means that I had reached 1,000 sales by March, and then tier 4,000 in October. Total number of sales, total amount of sales, 44,500. And again, let's just go back to 2017. That is a big difference, right? Right now I'm sitting at 3,300 sales, and I've hit $56,000 in total sales, with over 10,000 in royalties. And this is why I have big goals and big plans for 2019. My goal is to hit 100,000 in sales. And to be fair, I'm kind of going safe. I do believe that this is going to be higher because of certain things that I have in mind. But again, just to kind of play it safe, I'm going with this being my goal. I want to reach $100,000 in sales in 2019. And that basically comes down to about 120 sales a week, which is not really unrealistic, especially for my next tier up, which is going to be 8,000, and I'm assuming that will actually happen in the next couple of months if things go according to plan. Right now, I have close to 3,000. This morning, actually, this was over 3,000, but because I'm getting to the time where I was, I can't remember if it was like 6 months ago or if it was still a 3-month period. I was listing about 100 products a day, and now there are some days where, due to no sales, I would get 50 products removed each day, sometimes even more, sometimes less. But basically, in summary, I still have about 1,000 spots that I can actually fill up at any time. So about 3,000 products live. Over 2,000 of those are Amazon.com. I have about 510 Amazon UK and about 320 at this time Amazon Germany. Germany, again, I think it's the translation and descriptions and all that kind of stuff. I'm not very successful. I've been getting some sales when it comes to UK, but again, most of my products, and just because, Amazon.com being a powerhouse, that's where most of my sales are. Again, just over 2,000 products. Let's see what my plan is going forward. So like I said, right now I have about 1,000 slots that I can fill at any time. I have 400 a day, which means if I really had designs ready to go and products saved in draft, I can be up to 4,000, within 2 to 3 days. I don't, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So the first thing that I'm actually in the process of doing is right now I'm actually going to hire somebody through Upwork to work with me for about 10 to 15 hours a week. I've been looking at some of the wages and stuff like that. So depending on the skill and experience, you can find somebody for $3 to $4 to $5 an hour. So like I said, my goal is to spend about 40 to 50 a week, and that's completely affordable because I'll be making a lot more even just through merch. So that's not a problem. One of the, I guess, short-term goals is to get up to 4,000 items live by the end of February. So this is me taking into consideration those removals that I was talking about, because even if I add 100 or 200 products a day, which most likely I won't be doing, there will be 50 to 100 coming down each day. So again, to give myself enough time, I've set that goal by the end of February, so it gives me about 2 months. Now, like I said, in the next 2 to 3 months, my prediction is that I will have tiered up to tier 8,000, this is big. If you think about having 8,000 products live on Amazon, especially through Merch by Amazon, that is a big deal if you do it right. There are a lot of businesses that don't have that many products live and they're making a lot of money. So this is a great opportunity. And again, to be fair, my goal is to have all these products live with the help of my assistant by about June to July. And the way that I want to actually structure that or break it up is unless there are other products introduced in the next couple of months, pop sockets for me have been a wonderful success. So I'm actually going to do about 40% of all my products going forward and list them as pop sockets. 30% will be t-shirts, hoodies, other long sleeves items on Amazon.com. And then I will actually start introducing a lot more products on Amazon UK and Amazon Germany, because I think it would be a loss, it would be a waste if I actually didn't take full advantage of these two markets, because it's very new. Anybody that got into Merch by Amazon from the beginning on Amazon.com saw certain items just take off because they were simply not available. And that's the opportunity that we have right now with UK and Germany, especially as Amazon starts introducing more products to those two markets, because right now all we're able to sell are standard t-shirts. So a couple of things that I would suggest for anybody that's starting out, that's kind of wondering, what do I do? What are some things that I should keep in mind? Is number one, if you can, don't take a break. And I'm not saying don't take a break to keep your sanity or anything like that, but basically, don't take a break when it comes to listing products. Even if you get into that groove where every day you upload a few products or even make them live, compared to your big days where I'm sure you're going to have days where you do, at least I do, I'll sit down for 6, 8, sometimes 12 hours, multiple days, design and upload sometimes hundreds of products. But basically, in summary, do not take a break. Get into that groove where it becomes a habit, and you're uploading products every day. Keep adding products to draft. If you have, let's say, if you're at a tier 100 or 500, and you have an additional 500 saved in draft, you will love it when you get tiered up and you're basically just able to activate those products and make them live instead of actually going through the whole process. I actually used to be ahead of the game when I was at a tier 1000, but now working with 4,000 products and more, it's kind of hard to keep up with that. But again, the plan is to hit that with the assistant. And then the last suggestion, kind of advice, would be learn and test things out. So things that I'm definitely working on myself are keywords and advertising. I really want to take advantage of Amazon ads. I've run a few. I've had a few successes, but I haven't perfected it. And at this point, it's simply because I haven't spent enough time uh, working on it. When it comes to keywords, I've noticed the difference that when I even use less words but have a better combination of keywords, my success in sales are actually way better than if you were to just basically load up your title and your descriptions or uh, key points, whatever they're called, with what you would consider keywords. So I think you should be very strategic with that in figuring out what actually works. So in summary, uh, my sales from previous year, from 2017, have quadrupled. And again, that's not a big deal because I was in a much lower tier, and sales were not crazy. $12,000, right? 500, 650 products sold at tier 500, and a few wasted months. Again, 2018 looked a lot better. I mean, $44,000 in sales is it's all right. Uh, and going through two different tier ups is also a bit of an accomplishment. So again, going forward, goal 100,000, which would mean that all I have to do is average about 120 sales a week, which at this point and for the last couple of months, understanding that it was Q4, I have been managing that and more, but we'll see what happens going forward. I would love to hear your suggestions, your experience as well. Leave a comment. Let me know what worked for you. Maybe some of the challenges that you faced, and I'm sure a lot of other people would love to hear your goals. Uh, Please feel free to share, and as always, thank you for watching.